Thanks for the thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday. I think today's Monday. I'm having a great Monday. Good draw day. Working on systcomic.com. Kickstarter, July. Non-stop drawing. That's all I do is draw. What's up, man? What's up, Warren? How's everything? Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube at DylanDistraction.com. Streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Fatlantic Studios. And streaming on Facebook Live. I like doing these restreams where you can go on multiple platforms at the same time. Don't know how to turn the volume off. That's great, man. Glad to hear it. I don't usually have a lot of people watch the live stream on YouTube, so it's nice that you're checking it out. I appreciate it. I think YouTube is a really great platform for comic book artists. I know a lot of creative people right now are streaming on YouTube, doing live or doing recorded videos. I was watching Dave Finch, and of course Ryan Benjamin's on Twitch, Jim Lee's on Twitch, and then they replay it on YouTube. I think really finding creative people and seeing them work is one of the joys of my life. I love seeing other people's process, and I love watching other people create. And so hopefully, people get that same sort of enjoyment and pleasure out of watching me just do what I love, which is making comics. So, and yes, I draw all the time. I draw all day, I draw all night, constantly drawing. Oh, good, you can hear me. Good, awesome. Because I was having some problems with the audio before, so I'm relieved that the audio is working. Yay. Yeah, I found with all these social media platforms, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. It's a necessity. You have to be available, you have to be active, but I see creators that aren't. And it's like, I don't know if it's a generational thing or just maybe they don't need it, And part of me is kind of envious of that. Like, oh wow, they don't have to have an email list or Or would they be more successful if they did things that were marketing or social? You know, like some of these artists that, like if Tim Sale had a YouTube channel, I don't think he does, would he be popular? Would people care? Or do they just want to see the art and they don't necessarily want to see how the sausage is made? These are things I wonder about. How many issues is Cyst going to be? That's a good question, Warren. Let's see how issue 1 does. I want to do a bunch, but I want to make sure issue 1, which is finished and ready to go to print, I really want to see if people dig it, and if they're like, yeah, awesome. My plan is to keep producing content. So I'm going to jump back and forth. So I like Cyst. I think he's a great character. He's a lot of fun. And I like Versus from the Oppressors. I like the Oppressors. I like Warhood. I like all the characters I've created. I love Ledge, another character I created. And so I want to not get too caught up in any one, because I was initially, when I was like, you know what, I'm going to be like Eric Larson doing Savage Dragon. I'm going to do 300 issues of one comic book. And as I got into it, I'm like, oh no, that's not going to work at all. I got too many other things. I love jumping around too much. And so I did Archive, and I was like, all right, let's jump off that and do Oppressors. And I'm like, all right, hey, you know what? Why don't I jump off of that, do Cyst, and then the next thing is kind of up in the air. But I'm going to share a secret with you. If we hit goal on Cyst comic, cystcomic.com, if we hit goal on Cyst, the Skin Grafter, in the first 48 hours, everybody's going to get a PDF of Versus issue 0. I'm working on that today. That's what I was working on today. Drawing Versus issue 0. And then it's like, cool, because I love the Versus character from the Oppressors. I was like, well, why would be cool if I did maybe a one-shot or a 0 issue with him. Kind of, establish him a little bit more, his backstory a little bit. And then jump back to the Oppressors issue 2. And then the next that I kind of wanted to do. So, all right, so I'll tell you. So, distribution beyond crowdfunding. I'm always looking to find a publisher that is interested in what I'm doing and wants to work with me. I'm the kind of person that is very hesitant to give up too much of my control of my stuff. I love my characters and I love the freedom that it allows me and enables me. But I kind of envision what I would do is if someone wanted to bring me into a project, it would be their project and I'd be a hired gun. And I'd bring what I do to it. So that's kind of what the thinking is. It's like, oh, you want what I do, which is this kind of zany stuff? Then you get some. If someone has something that they think would work for what I do, then that's where that would make sense, as opposed to wanting to own my IP, which is like, well, what I mean, that's not, what are you gonna do? What would they do with it that I wouldn't? It's like, unless they can do something with it that I can't, like get me in front of people that might, be able to make bigger decisions. Which is why, some of these indie publishers are like, yeah, we can get you and I see my friends doing that, where they're like, oh, we can get you a phone call with this person or that person. It's like, ooh, that's cool. That's enticing. But for me, I just love the creative freedom of just being able to make my stuff at my own pace. And crowdfunding's just really been wonderful for that. I've been able to find people that like what I'm doing and want to support it. And it just means so much to me, and it's just so humbling that they trust me to produce stuff that's going to be cool and that they're going to enjoy, and kind of has a connection. They realize that they're part of the process of making the comic book or the graphic novel. They're a necessary part of the production process if they're funding the printing and distribution. So if a publisher was like, oh, let's take all that off your hands so you have more time to draw, I'd be like, enticing. That is an enticing option. I do appreciate that. But I see what the industry is currently dealing with and trying to figure out, and it seems rather precarious. I mean, with the diamond shut down and comic book stores not, really kind of trying to figure it out. And none of that makes me feel, terribly excited to give up any sort of creative control. But, that being said, I'm open to opportunities and options. If someone was presented me with something, I'd be like, oh, I'll consider it. Sure. And, but yeah, crowdfunding's great. I mean, as long as crowdfunding keeps working, I think everybody should. And I know a lot of professional artists, like even more, very well known corporate convention, big publisher guys doing crowdfunding. I think, yeah, it's a great way to market and promote and get people excited about your work. And I know some people that are on Indiegogo, and I'm thinking about doing something there eventually. Currently still on Kickstarter, which I think is a lot of fun. Hopefully people get excited about Cyst, the skin grafter, and we hit goal early. Got some cool stretch goals, got some cool guest friends that want to add some stuff to it. The comic is done, and I want to get it out into people's hands so that I can move on to the next thing. And if we hit goal in the first 48, everybody gets Versus Zero. It's a short little mini comic, but I'll send everybody a PDF for that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think people really come to me for opinions about the comic book industry. I'm not the person that has any sort of insight, or my opinions are I hope everything goes great. My opinion is I hope everything works out for everyone. I've worked in a corporate environment before, so I realized that that's part of our current... there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, as they say, especially with a corporate entity, shareholders, IP, a lot of that sort of stuff. And in comic books, it's not, just like everything else, it's beholden to a lot of those sort of realities. And I am very appreciative that I'm not. I get to make content that I love and enjoy, share with people that want it, and then make more stuff. And I got there's no lack of enthusiasm or enjoyment for the creative process from me. I'm thrilled every day to be able to wake up and make things, comic books, I get to draw, share my work. That's all I want to do. And yeah, I'm glad people have come along for the ride. And cystcomic.com Kickstarter in July. It's gonna blow your mind. I can tell you all about it, but then it would spoil the surprise. Let's spoil the surprise. Yeah, Warren, what are you up to? Doing anything cool? If you got a link, feel free to plug it. I love seeing what people are working on. And that goes to anybody. If ever I post anything, feel free to spam it with your own thing. I'm not one of those guys that's like, ugh, what about my thing? No, I want to see what other people are working on. If you've got a campaign, or if you got a website, or if you got a PDF to check out, post it. We're all in this together. If you've got something you want to share with the world, share it. That goes to anybody, ever, at any time. I do not mind. Actually, I'll tell you all that Bob Thatchick's Good Boy Paws is on Kickstarter right now. So if you're hearing the sound of my voice, go to Kickstarter. You might as well go to Kickstarter and start now. Get your stuff in gear. Get your butt in gear. And back Good Boy Paws from my buddy Bob Thatchick. And what else is going on? Noah Salt is going to be doing The Wreckage, I think. He's going to be on Kickstarter, so definitely check out Noah's stuff. And my buddy Schmalky's doing The Electric Black. I just got naming friends that I have. I'll just start name dropping. Ben Bishop, the Ben Bishop. I don't know what he's working on. Drawing Blood? Is that still going on? Yes, of course it's still going on. The Aggregate. Working on that, I'm sure. And his Bish Club is a very popular club for adults, not just for children. And Jason Lynch is doing Murder Hobo. And I don't know who else. I'm doing online courses, which has been really fun. I love learning. It's one of my favorite things in the world, is to learn new stuff. So I'm taking some online courses, which has been awesome. And what else? I'm just talking to myself. Nothing special. Hey, Warren Montgomery says, nothing special. Got a book to color and prepping my own stuff. Well, if you want to plug something, post it. You have carte blanche. If you have anything you want to plug away. That goes for anybody. Plug it. Yeah, Warren, I want to see more of your stuff. I'm looking right now. Oh yeah, you just posted a Spider-Man. That looks dope. Oh yeah, actually, Warren, you know Luis Rivera. He's gonna be doing, a piece of art for me for Cyst Comic. Cyst the Skin Grafter. He's kind enough to donate work. I know Luis from Kubert School. Years ago now. He's a good dude, and I hang out with him whenever I see him in San Diego. Buddy Luis Rivera. Talented artist. Good guy. And Chris Vance is going to be doing a piece of art. I think he just messaged me. Let me see if I can find it. And this new Facebook screw anybody else up? This new Facebook is wackadoo. I mean, it's fine, but let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Chris Vance crushing it. Very cool. Luis is a madman. Yes, Luis Rivera I was with him at Kubert School years ago now, and I thought I drew a lot. I thought I drew, well and good, well enough at the time. and drew a lot. And we'd go to class, and I'd get there early, and I'd leave late, and go back to the dorm, and Luis would just draw forever. I was like, I can't keep up with this guy. He makes me look like a slacker. He can do an entire comic book, pencils and inks, on a month. He could do a monthly book, just grinding it out with that great Dave Cockrum. I always think whenever I think of Luis's work, I think of Dave Cockrum, the guy who did X-Men, like that John Byrne, Dave Cockrum, 80s X-Men, pre 90s. I love that stuff. I mean, I grew up reading that John Byrne, Dave Cockrum X-Men stuff. Giant size X-Men. I'm like, oh my god, if they gave Luis a X-Men book, right? If they did like a throwback X-Men book, 2 monthly books. Yeah. Luis Rivera is one of the hardest working men in comic books. I was astounded. And I've said it to him. He's a buddy of mine, and I'm like, dude, you're a machine. He is insane, insanely talented, and just insanely dedicated. The fact that he's not more well known, the fact that I'm like, why wouldn't this guy? Why is he not on X-Men? If you did a vintage X-Men book, I'm like, oh my god, nuts! Just so proficient, so talented. But don't tell him I gave him all those compliments. He'll get a big head, and he'll just walk around like, oh, la 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 la, I'm the best. No, I'm teasing. Yeah, he deserves all the praise. He's an animal. He's a machine. He's a good dude, and I love his work. I think he's phenomenal. And he's doing a drawing from Cyst, so he's a good guy. But yeah, wouldn't that be dope if Luis Rivera was on a X-Men, like a vintagey X-Men, imagine if they got stuck in the Savage Land, or Psylocke trapped them in her mind or something, or I don't know, Magneto sent them through time. I'm just spitballing here. But man, he would crush it if all of a sudden they did like the X-Men just would like suddenly looked vintage. They looked Dave Cockrum style X-Men. It'd be insane. Make $1 million. I've actually toyed with the idea of just creating an X-Men-ish book and be like, Luis, for all these characters. I'd be like, they're X-Men-ish. It's like a what if book. What if Dylan Distraction wrote the X-Men? That'd be crazy. So I've thought about that. But then I don't get to draw. I'm like, it's like I want to draw myself. I wouldn't be able to do it the way he does it. So then I'd have to hire a writer and Luis to be the artist. I'm like, well, then what am I, just a publisher? That's no fun. Where's the fun in that? Yeah, no, Luis, I'm sure, is on their radar, but, we've talked about it and stuff, and it's like, yeah, until it happens, it's all just talk. But I know so many super talented people. Luis is one of them. And there's just, he's working on indie books, and when I met him, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make comic books. I'm gonna do Kickstarters, and I'm gonna just make my own comics. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're not gonna try to get a publisher? And I'm like, why? What are they gonna offer that I can't do? I'm like, I know how to set things up to be printed. I've worked in publishing my entire life. I'm like, why would I pay? So he's going the work for hire route, and I'm going the do conventions, make my own comics, do crowdfunding route. And yeah, both are, it's just different ways of working. But yeah, I'm excited for. I know Luis he'll hit big with something. You know, I like any of my incredibly talented creative friends. You see them and you know them and you watch them work and you're like, oh man, it's gonna hit for them. Just a matter of finding the right thing. You know, Ben Bishop, same sort of thing. I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's popular when I met him, and he's just become more and more talented and popular and works on higher profile projects and well deserved. You know, definitely one of the hardest working men in comics. Ben Bishop's another one. Schmalky, my buddy Joe Schmalky, another one. Just just gonna keep grinding, and there's no backup plan. Just do this until you can't do this anymore. But yeah, my buddy Chris Vance, he just showed me he's doing a drawing for my campaign too. Looking good. So nice to have people that are talented that want to donate art to my campaign. Alright, so I drew this, my characters hanging out together. Systcomic.com if you want to see the countdown clock for the campaign. And yeah, I think that's enough. You get to watch me draw. You get to see these are there. Go to systcomic.com and batlanticstore.com if you want to get a comic book. Let me grab one. I got mini prints. I've got comic books. Right, signed comic books. I got standard cover. I got variant cover. And I can do remarks on the back. Syst is the backup story. So go to batlanticstore.com, DylanAndrewsArt.com, buy a comic book, buy a bunch of comic books, get a commission if anybody wants a commission, and get ready for July because I'm going to be kickstarting in July. Going to be a month of Syst. Super excited. Thanks so much, everyone, for your continued support. I really appreciate it. All right. I'm going to go do something else. Bye.